Welcome to the Chronically Online Podcast. This is episode 3. That's right. Somehow we've done 3 episodes now. It's going well, I think.
I'm getting old, mate.
We're getting old. Like, my God, it seems like only 5 minutes ago we were doing episode 2.
And we're in the same outfit.
The same outfit.
Funny that.
Funny that. I feel exactly. I've got the same level of coffee. Like, who would have thought? Yes, so episode 3, what we're going to be doing every single episode in the Chronically Online Podcast is discussing favourite memes that we've seen recently and from a kind of marketing perspective as well.
Yep.
Going to be discussing more detailed marketing elements that we've encountered because me and James are both marketing professionals, and also going to be discussing general geeky things that we like because we're both a couple of geeks. So, do you think that covers what we're going to be doing?
I think so. The internet is one massive inside joke. You miss one day, you've missed it all, and this is what this whole show is put together to do. Yep. And even though it might seem a bit weird to overly explain a meme, and it may well kill the joke every time we do an episode on a meme. That might be when you know the meme is done after we've covered it. We cover it so you can start unpeeling the reasons why things happen, and we'll try our best to use our headcanon to trace the origins of said meme.
But we're just chill guys.
We're just chill guys. Call out back to last episode.
Yeah.
So in that sense, that's what this whole show is all about. And sometimes it's a strange thing to have to explain a meme to someone that doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So just send them this.
Send them this entire podcast episode.
Yeah. That's not a small ask at all.
No, they'll get it. Yeah. Of course, so the first one I'm going to discuss is one of my favourite little things that has popped up recently that I would have never guessed in a million years. Do you know, you might actually know the name. I know I kept this secret, so you might know the name.
Fresh reaction, folks.
Yeah, in which case this will ruin the surprise. But do you know the name Simon Kagwa and Jala? I'm pronouncing an African name very wrong.
No, I don't. This is one of two people I think
Is it? You might know. Okay.
No, this is is it the guy singing the Christmas song?
Okay, I'm not going to tell what I'm going to say.
Is it the chestnut rotting that was it this guy, or is it the I don't know. No, I don't know what the other one could be.
Okay, I'm happy you didn't get it. Okay, you are now instantly about to get it.
Okay.
Why are you gay? Who says I'm gay?
Yeah, the OG African interview. I'm not sure if it was Ghanaian or like something, but I remember that whole interview segment bringing on there.
It's one of my favourite videos on the internet.
He was asking important questions.
Do I call you mister? Yeah, I love him.
It's the way he acted like he had no neck.
Yeah, and what's so good is that he's so respectful. Like he's like, do I call you mister? He's trying to be respectful.
Yeah, this is his first step of education. You can tell. Yeah.
Well, anyway, the reason I'm talking about him, he has just popped up. Did you know this?
I've seen him in a couple of places.
Well,
like,
recently.
why is he back?
Yeah. I don't know why he's back, but he is. Yeah. So, tell me, have you seen him in a couple of things?
I can't remember the memes.
Okay, right.
I just know I've seen his face, or he's been on like a podcast clip, so I'm like, isn't that the Why Are You Gay guy?
Yeah.
And then gone, I've got other things to do. Carried on.
See, I saw that and I was like, let me get deeper. Let me find out. And I love him now. I follow him, and every one of his videos I love. So
what kind of content does he make it?
It's really self-referential parody things.
Yeah.
Where he's like talking to other people, quite deadpan. Like quite serious, but it's all a joke. But it's like
it's in character. Yeah,
very, very in character. Him doing the same shtick, but like not in a boring way. Like he will do it in a kind of interesting way. I'm sure we'll kind of like put some video clips up on screen.
Yeah, we'll put the screenshot up.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just good because he's like, that must be, because I know the footage of that original clip looks like 30 years old.
Oh, it's really old,
But it's probably because like the video quality is bad. I don't know. But it's just so funny that it's researched after so long, and he's just come back and been like, hey, I'm just going to make some jokes about my old catchphrase that I had just for no real reason. And I mean, I don't know, maybe he is part of a TV show. I don't know.
That happens more than we think it does. Again, if you're in the internet in joke, it won't feel like that. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that person. Whereas there are some people that are like getting to know him for the first time. Yeah. Not like we knew him at all back then. It was just like one clip that I think that did the rounds when Vine was still really hitting it hard.
Was old.
So that was like one of the first I wouldn't say one of the first viral clips, but it was a strong viral clip in that era, in the Vine era. But I think Cameo has a lot to do with how that can work. So if anyone's familiar with Cameo, it's anyone who's I feel a washed up celebrity feels mean, but for people who were famous at one point or are still kind of famous, you can just go on there and ask them to do video messages like custom, and you would have seen this from loads of things. Like the guy that does the voice from Halo was one of my favourites. Cool. I assume the Why Are You Gay guy was on there.
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
One of our most famous politicians, Nigel Farage, did a good stint on Cameo, and there is a whole the amount of different things he's actually said. And he's just like, wagwan geezers, up the ones, and it's just it's.
We know you're the sus imposter. I love Nigel Farage Cameo clips so much.
Oh, and the fact the fact that there are active rumours right now that he will either join the Conservative Party or Reform and Conservative is going to merge, and he's going to be a serious face in our politics. Oh, the internet. Like that, exactly why this stuff exists. But I think Cameo can help keep people alive to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And then you'll never know when the internet's going to pick you back up again. It's a bit like rediscovering an old toy you found in your loft, and you're like, I have that. And then everyone gets behind it for a little bit and then puts it back down.
It gets bored again.
Yeah, and sometimes even memes that happen more modern, I guess. I think his name's Cabby Lamb. Have you heard of Cabby Lamb?
Don't think so.
The guy that just goes like that,
yes.
Really obvious
yes,
stuff. Right?
Yes,
As soon as I do that reference, he owns that.
Yeah.
He's gotten he think he's the most followed person on TikTok, which is one hell of a feat.
Yeah.
But I think his level of success has gotten to a point where there's now just a hate train behind him.
Okay.
Because how dare you be that successful? Because he's getting movie stuff now. He's in. I think he had quite a good model bone structure face. Okay. So he's been picked up by Hugo Boss as a main model / ambassador. Wow. He's had really unprecedented levels of success, and this happened with other creators like Bella Porch as well. When she hit the mainstream, started doing music, things like that. As soon as these TikTokers hit a certain level, start doing things outside of their realm, people start to get a little bit mad about it. And I think the reverse can happen, where you can kind of have this cult classic level of enjoyment and fame of what loves you, but don't step out of your lane. That I think it then goes into kind of cult mentality or herd mentality, and don't
you dare people. Exploit your success, or not even
don't you dare actually be successful.
Don't enjoy your success, and because everyone would do that. If everyone was given the opportunity, okay, we'll pay you this amount of money to just pose on our poster. Yeah. Everyone would say yes.
And I think it was just how some of the original TikTokers became big was being right place, right time. They jumped on the right train. This happens. So many creators start like that. Yeah. Some of the original YouTubers, people that started Twitter well back in the day, but if you look at the specific reasons why some of those creators got big, you got ones like Charli D'Amelio who just do fairly basic dances compared to non-professional dancers, so they'll be pissed. You've got Cabby Lamb who just pointed at stuff or made a silly face. You've got Bella Porch, who was the queen of silly faces and just did this to beat matching stuff. Oh
God, I do know her.
And for anyone who was just listening, she moved her face musically, which was obviously a thing back when the app was Musical.ly. And when these people reach certain levels of success, when you've got hundreds of millions of followers and you're getting brand deals and making albums, everyone starts going, you're the person who wiggled their face.
Yeah.
Why do you have so much money? Yeah. And then people start to get angry about the concept that they've elevated someone to that degree. And I think people don't quite understand the power of their when you like or engage with something, it's part of their elevation process. So anyone who's probably mad at them 100% contributed to where they got to.
It is.
And it's a fascinating concept to see how that goes from, because sometimes you go through a full evolution of love, 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 hate, hate, hate. Oh, don't worry, we love you again. And if you get into another controversy, we hate you again. But it'll be a 5-second thing.
It is. Yeah. Well, I don't think Simon has been that controversial. I think he's been. There was the crazy original clip, and now people love him. I think.
And I think it's probably because he's seems like he's educated himself a bit more.
Oh yeah.
Super genuine. Yeah. And self-aware.
Yeah, self-aware. That's it. It's very all of the videos I've seen have been referencing the catchphrase.
Yeah.
I think maybe one or two don't reference it.
Yeah.
Original things.
Part of that self-awareness is where the authenticity factor comes in, which would be one of the subconscious factors of why that video or that creator starts to work. It's because people end up actually going, I like you. You're like me in some way. Because that's all this is.
Yeah,
it's all very.
Oh, we think the same.
Yeah, it's that's that kind of the parasocial concept, a parasocial relationship, which is either very good or very bad, depending on the context.
Yeah. Some of it goes a bit. I don't know. We call it negative as well. The next thing I want to talk about is alongside all of these amazing pieces of content, they've got to be powered by some way, because of course I don't pay to use Instagram and see Simon's videos. I don't pay to see TikTok and all this stuff. No. So therefore it has to be through ads. And my God, the other day I was using the All 4 app, Great British Bake Off. I think I was watching the Great British Bake Off on the All 4 app. Yeah. Final today. I can't wait. Anyway, paused it, bloody ad on the pause screen. I promise. Like, it wasn't like the video being paused. It was an ad for, like, I don't know, Old Spice or something.
We're just in Blade Runner right now.
I know. And it wasn't even like a kind of generic poster. It was a custom made ad that, like, was custom made for the shape of my screen. It was everything like this. And then it gave you the option to kind of like click out of the ad and then see the actual paused show.
That just shouldn't be a thing.
Oh my God, I watched that.
Should not be a thing.
I honestly didn't know what I was seeing. I was like, that can't be an ad. We're not there yet. Surely we're not there yet.
We're not mobilising every single piece of ad space we possibly can get for the sake of profit. And it depends on...
Dark side of marketing. How invasive it is.
It's kind of impossible to know when I'm not sure any new ad format is going to be received well. Let's be honest. You can kind of tell when they're going to come along. So I remember when Instagram Reels or Facebook Reels didn't have ads quite yet. Yeah. So that was like a clean space where you can, and even TikTok to a certain extent, you could enjoy it like kind of ad free for a while. Yeah, and then at a certain point, everyone clocks goes, when they see an ad, they're like, it sounds about right. It's about time that ads started coming through here. Makes sense. At least from a marketer's brain anyway, that's how I perceived it. But when you see ads where they're not supposed to be somewhere, the level of infuriation is insane. I'm seeing a lot more of the trucks with just big LCD screens on.
I've not seen that.
They're just like vans that travel around and they've just got billboards on. Yeah. And I think they park up. I'm not sure they're allowed to like distract people in that sense. But like every time I look at it, I'm like, we are edging closer to Blade Runner every day and a cyberpunk universe. And I don't like it. Like some places, advertising just shouldn't be. And unless you cause enough of an outrage to make that go away, it won't. And I haven't heard that talked about much, what you've just mentioned there.
That's the first time I've seen it.
So whether it's like a super new ad format and we're about to see it and we're breaking live news here, folks, unless we're doing that, because it's very hard to report that ad format as well. Like if you're on social and you are getting a bunch of ads that are just really out of place, it's easy enough to report that and get that back. But like, did it even give you an option to go, I don't want to see this, or why am I seeing this?
Yeah, it was the screen that said like Old Spice, blah, 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 and in the corner was a button that said back, and if you pressed back, it just got rid of the ad and showed you the paused show. I don't think there was any other option on the TV. Yeah,
screen. and if it's through a TV, I mean, it's even harder then to like, what am I going to do? Type feedback out on my D-pad. Yeah. You're just forced to endure it, and I think that's the worst. I'm just a captive audience. The closest thing I can think of is when you're on a website and someone's done a pop-up for like a discount code or for cookies, but it takes up the entire screen.
Yes.
And it locks you until you get out of that screen, and it just becomes an infuriating experience and you'll pretty much leave immediately. Yeah. Not recommended as an ad format, by the way, for anyone who's thinking of doing that. Make it small, please. So, I can understand the frustration there, but it's a worrying trend when they'll try and monetize anything that doesn't move in this case. Yeah,
I think I saw a similar thing happen on the YouTube app recently, where I think I had it, landscape, watching a video, paused, and then as it was paused, an ad slid in from the side.
Yeah, I've seen those on YouTube, so slide in from the right.
Right, yeah. Like during the pause, it was out of nowhere. It was just like pause, like that.
And at least it's not as intrusive. No. But I think intrusive advertising harkens back to this hit the duck and win an iPad. Like, I think especially for us oldies who've been on the internet for a while, the instinctual fear to click off something that takes off your entire screen is immense. Like that is baked into your psyche pretty much. It is. To do.
Oh God, I've been infected. Click.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, Dad's gonna kill me. So you gotta sort that out. Non-intrusive advertising, for the love of God. But it depends on what financial position all four is in. Let's be honest. If they're trying to advertise pause screens, you got to think what's going on behind the scenes there.
Yep. Who knows? who knows? That's a bit scary. Well, hopefully it won't get too bad, like, ads on the inside of my glasses or something.
It gets worse. My uni dissertation was advertising in VR and AR, and all I did was predict different ad placements that would happen when we got to that stage. And it looks like augmented reality is going to turn up in a more practical way before virtual reality, because the different goggles sold have had various successes. But intrusive advertising, when it's attached to your face.
Oh, when you describe it like that, attached to your face.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
I'm carrying around an Amazon billboard on my glasses right now. Ugh, God.
Yeah, there's a dystopian nature to it, but it's coming. And it's very much like AI. This is the worst it will ever be. And it's doing stuff that tricks people every day. And when you start to think about it like that, this is the least ads you're ever going to see. And this is the worst AI is going to be.
Yeah.
Happy future, everybody.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, let's talk about something nice. Let's talk about some geeky things. Please. Chicago.
Oh, jazz hands. Let's get it.
We naturally just did that. That wasn't even planned.
Real players know. You got to hit it.
So Chicago. I saw the Chicago musical at the Mayflower the other day.
Love that. Shouts out the Mayflower, Southampton.
Yeah, that's it. It was my wife. She loved she loves musicals.
You got me.
I don't say that enough.
You need to say it more.
I think she actually said to me, "Why did you not call me my wife enough?" And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I should call you that.
I wish that would turn into an actual fight.
yeah. Oh God.
You don't refer to me in Borat quotes anymore. This marriage is over with.
That's the only reason I would get married. Well, she loves musicals, and she's introduced me to a bunch, and I like musicals now, I'm a big wrestling fan, so therefore there's a massive overlap of musicals and wrestling. Anyway, saw Chicago musical, it was cool, and it made me think, there is a massive dedicated fan base, massive, that's the wrong word. There is a dedicated fan base for musicals.
Yes.
And it made me kind of think, would that be classed as a kind of geeky interest? I'd say maybe it probably would be. Maybe not, because it's the kind of thing where there's a buy-in to musicals in that it's expensive. And it's reminded me of other kind of geeky things like Warhammer is expensive, so you need to love it. Or some tech stuff is geeky. You need to buy in and spend a lot of money. Musicals are quite expensive, and the people who watch them normally love them. It's rare that you'll get someone who will casually watch a musical because they're so expensive. You've got to buy the bloody tickets. But you do sometimes. But yeah, it just made me think, that's there's not really much of a stigma of geekiness attached to musicals. But
I think a lot of nerdy stigma for anything has kind of gone away. So I think it's just the era you're in. So have you ever seen 21 Jump Street?
Yeah.
When he has to go back to high school and it's all changed a lot. I feel like that was more true than they intended when they wrote that, because I think the stereotype of the theatre kid, right? Yeah. I don't get me wrong. It's not like I've been in a school for the last decade, but I assume it's not as bad as if you wanted to do drama when I was a kid, because there was probably a lot of things that were said that shouldn't have been said back then when you wanted to do drama or act or something, especially if you went to a kind of rougher inner city school. Whereas if you liked it now, the same musicals you'd want to practice in class, you watched on TikTok earlier. And I think the easy distribution of these hobbies and interests and the online communities that can gather around it give people a lot more confidence to talk about it. Because pre-internet era, when you had something that wasn't mainstream, that's risky.
Yeah, and I think, like you say, TikTok, the idea of performing, TikTok has basically said, oh no, look at all these hundreds of thousands of other teenagers that are performing. Look at, if I was back at school nowadays, then I would have seen that and gone, oh, okay, I would feel less weird about performing.
Yeah,
which, I don't see now because I got a different TikTok algorithm.
When the guy from your school has just done a dance number to one of the small bits of Chicago as a trend before he's come to school.
Yeah.
Even if he's the high school quarterback or something, if we're talking about American stereotypes, that's completely normal now, which is going to be odd for anyone who had school kind of pre-internet, I guess, or pre-easily accessible internet.
Internet there.
Internet here and in here in the neurochips. So, but I love a musical. I think there's different levels to it as well, because I've always been everyone, even if people say they don't like musicals, everyone fucks with a Disney musical.
True.
And
at least one.
Yeah, and like I am such a Nightmare Before Christmas guy that I like me in the shower night before Christmas. You can't tell the difference between me and Jack Skellington. Okay, I am there. I'm giving it 100% every time. So I think when you can enjoy a Disney musical, it's a very easy step to head over to an actual musical, and then it's just kind of like a finance and money thing. Because it's also something you kind of probably don't want to do alone as well. So you need someone to go with.
Yeah, probably.
It's
There'll be
easy to
someone
go
who
to
brings you to it.
Yeah. So, but it is a community in a sense, and there's a community for everything now, and they're so much more easily accessible. And that's one of the good parts about the internet, I guess. That's the social part of social media that is still functioning really well, is bringing people together around common things and interests. To good or bad stuff.
Yeah, and there's, I think, I don't want to like pin it all on one musical, but I honestly think that Hamilton helped make musicals cool.
Absolutely.
Like, it's crazy that there's one, not that I know much about musicals, but I honestly feel like this one musical made musicals cool because of just how awesomely cool Hamilton is.
Because it had a stereotype and stigma attached to it for ages.
Yeah.
And then it comes along and it wraps its way into the mainstream. And it's I think it's because essentially it's a musical that guys felt comfortable watching. Let's be honest. Because before, if you said, you couldn't walk up to your group and go, lads, I watched Wicked at the weekend. It was Wicked. Like, you say that pre-Hamilton. Oh, you're an idiot, mate. You're watching Wicked. Whereas watching now, oh, dude, I loved Hamilton. I want to see Wicked soon as well. I'm going to take my missus to see it. Like, it's just, the game's changed. All it takes is one game changer to open up a whole genre to a new audience. So thank you, Hamilton, for paving the way. Founding fathers and all that.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, what a legend.
His other ones are great.
I've not seen the others
because I haven't actually seen any of them in person. But I know that Hamilton's coming March next year to the Mayflower.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think I'm seeing it actually.
You love that.
Yeah, I've only seen the Disney recording of the actual one. Yeah,
same. And it was the movie one he did. I can't remember what. In the Heights.
In the Heights. Yeah, I've not seen.
The soundtrack for that is incredible, bro. Yeah. So good. Yeah. So good.
I got Sarah, my wife. I got her the like official. The official kind of behind the scenes book of Hamilton, where it's like thick like that, and it's a bunch of behind the scenes scripts and notes and stuff that Lin-Manuel,
awesome.
like he wrote like to plan it, and there's a bunch of like really funny things about it. Like he says that if you don't know, it's Notorious B.I.G. I've forgotten who's singing it, but. There are so many moments when like they were tempted to just carry on singing the hip hop version, like the original version, and not like the scripted actual words. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I love Hamilton so much.
I mean, shout out to Lin-Manuel Miranda because like I feel like there's a cruel twist of fate in the guy that was so musically talented was given no ability to sing whatsoever. Poor guy. Like, he must absolutely hate it sometimes, but he managed to transform into loads of other stuff. And it's like a common meme, by the way. I'm not just being an asshole. Like, I think he might have admitted it somewhere as well that like his singing voice isn't the best compared to others.
Probably right.
But yeah, what stuff he can create is mental. You can always tell when his signature's on something though, because something will always have some kind of rappy segment.
Encanto.
His work on Moana. Like,
you can hear Lin-Manuel Miranda on Encanto.
Yeah. You'll know it when you see it and you're like, yeah, this is a banger. Totally. I'm not sure he's ever missed.
Yeah, that's what they say. Well, that has covered a lot of stuff.
A lot of ground.
For the Chronically Online podcast.
So online, bro.
How online? Chronically. Yeah, that's Chronically. So how something chronically. Anyway, we're just chill guys, so whatever. So we are going to call it a day for episode 3. If you like the sound of this, please give us a like, comment whatever you liked or hated about this episode, and subscribe, follow us, whatever platform this is. Make sure you want to hear more. So we're going to be coming back with episode 4, of course, soon. But yeah, for this one episode, my name is George, and we've had
James.
And we will see you next time on the Chronically Online podcast.
See you later.